What's going on, guys? Crypto Lark here from Wellington. Today we're going to be talking about Metaverse. Welcome to the new reality. Da-da-da. They make it sound so exciting. And look, Metaverse is a pretty exciting project. We're going to be getting into all the details of what Metaverse is trying to do, what the team is, what the news is, what the competition is, where you can get yourself some Metaverse if you want to get involved in that. Now, before we get into all that stuff, quick shout out to everyone who has been hitting that like button. And of course, big shout out to all the subscribers, all the old subscribers, all the new subscribers. Everyone's welcome at the Crypto Larks channel for all your great crypto advice. Are you subscribed yet? If not, hit down below. That's where the subscribe button is. And of course, big shout out to George, the newest patron over on Patreon. And of course, if you want to follow me over there, that would be super awesome as well. Support me on Patreon, or of course, you can follow me along on steemit.com as well. Quick disclaimer also, guys, this is not professional financial advice. This is just a dude talking about cryptocurrencies. Let's get into it. So what the heck is Metaverse and what the heck is it trying to do? Well, holy cow, it is trying to do a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Perhaps you could think that is an immediate like, are they trying to do too much? I don't think so. They have a pretty big team working on it. Currently, Viewfin, which is the company designing Metaverse, they got about 70 people on staff at the moment, so that's a pretty serious amount of people. Digital asset registration. You can own your assets on chain today. Why wait until tomorrow when you can do it today? Now look, this is really nice. One of the things that apparently they're advertising as well is that, you know, they're going to be able to help Chinese companies basically not have to develop their stuff by themselves. Now look, their shift may be focusing out of China a bit now because of all the stuff that's gone on in China recently, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit in the video, but that is one thing that they were potentially offering here. They're not really highlighting that on the website anymore. I think they're trying to market themselves as a more international project. In fact, yesterday, the website for Metaverse had a big Chinese announcement here, and now it is just the new reality. So that's cool. That's cool. So they might not be doing that so much anymore, but nevertheless, digital asset registration, digital identity, oracles. We love oracles. We've been talking a lot about oracles recently. Of course, oracles help connect real-world data to the blockchain, and even a decentralized exchange. Now, they don't really talk about this very much in the white paper or anything, but that is apparently part of the plan moving forward, so keep an eye out for that as well. Now, they've got a whole white paper talking about their digital identity. Come over and check it out. It's all the stuff you'd expect from digital ID. Basically not something mind-blowingly different from what Civic is offering, for example, but it's, again, this is like a one-stop shop here for all your crypto-related needs. Digital asset registration, digital ID, oracles, decentralized exchange, smart contracts coming soon. They're even going to do a DAO. Exciting stuff, guys. Now, one thing that they're looking at here is doing avatars. So these avatars can be held by a real person or AI or an Internet of Things machine, or a company, or an organization. And a single avatar can have multiple assets. That's pretty interesting stuff. Pretty interesting stuff. A nice little tool, nice offering from them. They're also looking at their digital ID using ZK snarks. Of course, we talk about ZK snarks all the time here, because ZK snarks are the hottest thing since ZK larks, of course. Shout out to whoever mentioned that in the comment section the other day. I thought that was pretty funny. Nevertheless, moving on. It is a proof of work / proof of stake coin. So 30 million ETP will be mined. If you do want to mine, you know, go check out how to mine ETP, but there will be 30 million of them mined, which still gives you a lot of room to mine ETP coins. There's also a proof of stake currently available with really good interest rates offered on the wallet. So you can actually come over here and see the interest rates that are offered on the wallet. If you stake for a year, you will get a 20% return. That's huge, 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 huge potential. One of the biggest I've seen recently from serious projects. You know, Neblio's got 10%. Go down the line, you know, PIVX has got like 5%. Neo's got, it's variable between about sort of 10 and 15% approximately, depending on various factors for Neo. But Metaverse, saying they're going to give you 20%. That's big. That's really, really big. So if you're willing to stake for a year, come back and get your returns, it might actually be a really, really good thing. Imagine you get 1,000 ETP today. You stake them. At the end of the year, you have your 20% bonus. And you've hodled for a year. Chances are Metaverse is up huge from what you've got it at today because they've actually started doing a bunch of the stuff that they were promising to do. That's a pretty cool thing right there. Now, Metaverse is already doing stuff as well. They're working with Zen Air and Zen Gold. Nice. Couple real world applications. Apparently Zen Air, very big in China. You can actually check out their site. Of course, it is all in Chinese, but it's a Chinese travel agency. And Zen Gold, of course, Chinese yuan into gold. So that's coming along. They've set up the Metaverse Foundation. Now, the purpose of this foundation, support community members, development, etc., etc. I think this may operate in a similar way, for example, to, you know, City of Zion. Guess we'll have to see how they roll it out. This is, of course, a very new thing for them. They don't have a lot of details on here about how that's going to work. It's very early days for Metaverse, and that's something you do need to keep in mind. Eric Gu is the founder of Metaverse. He's had some great experience on different projects. Of course, he's the co-founder of Viewfin, based out of Shanghai, but they have registered, by the way, they have registered Metaverse in Zurich, Switzerland. I think they're trying to, that's the Metaverse Foundation, of course, sorry. I really feel like Metaverse is trying to focus their energy outside of China now. Of course, that'd be a really smart move, obviously, since what just happened in China, we all know about this. So they are trying to focus a bit out of China. I can see that. 12.8K followers over here on the old Twitter. And they are pretty active about posting as well. So I like to see that. But Viewfin, not a lot going on with the old Viewfin, though. All the attention, of course, is being pushed over to Metaverse itself. Metaverse will be participating in Money 2020 conference on the 22nd of October over in Las Vegas. So that's exciting news. Of course, we usually see these run-ups in anticipation of any conference. We've seen a pretty good run-up recently with Metaverse. Now, this is a bit of old news, but nevertheless, they came out and said they're going to be working with KickICO. Did a review on KickICO a while back. That they're going to be working with KickICO to get Chinese projects launched in Russia. Now, I don't know if any of this is going to be going forward after everything that's come out in China with ICOs and all this. So if they are trying to move the company out of China and somewhere else, that would be cool. Of course, problematically, I don't know if they can really rely on Russia or Russian-based projects in that regards. Obviously, the crypto situation is in a state of flux currently in Russia. So will we see some kind of ICO ruling from the Kremlin? Hard to say. Wouldn't bet on that. Now, as well, he has been cited talking with the CEO of Coin1, which is, of course, one of South Korea's biggest exchanges. Interesting to see what happens there. Currently still only really doing trading on Bitfinex, though. He's also going to WBS Dubai pretty soon. So that is a blockchain conference over in Dubai, and that's just coming up in a couple of days here. Now, we have to talk about the risks, and we got to be realistic about the risks here. China's a risk. China is a risk. But even over on the Reddit, they've got the AMA questions going already. Someone from the team's already jumped in and said, hey, look, by the way, Our market cap is funded by over $100 million from people outside of China. And they're trying to focus on the we are international now. Don't associate us. Don't say we're a Chinese company. We're an international company now. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. Obviously, if they are going to move the office out and get themselves out of China, I guess we'll have to see what happens. Obviously, the fact that they've registered the Metaverse Foundation over in Switzerland says a lot. So we'll have to see where it goes from here. Will they be, you know, allowed to leave? Hard to say. Hard to say, guys. China can be irrational sometimes. You know, they told the owners of the Bitcoin exchanges politely, you're not allowed to leave China until we decide you're allowed to leave China. Now, obviously, Eric's heading off to a conference in Dubai. Maybe he's already outside of China. Maybe he's not going back. Maybe the company's in the position of moving already. We'll have to see what goes on with that. Okay, they do actually, in their white paper, spend a bit of time talking about the risks. I appreciate that. I like it when companies actually acknowledge, hey, by the way, there's some risks to what we do. Things may not go as planned. And one of the things they say, of course, is that, you know, will our blockchain be able to keep up? Will our mining become too centralized? Etc. So that's good to see. Now, they do have a lot of competition in the space. Qtum's competition for them. Neo, of course, is big competition for them. Of course, because they're offering oracles, we do have to consider Chainlink as well. Chainlink can be big competition for Metaverse also. Obviously, digital identity is already being done by the guys over at Civic. See how that plays out as well. Again, Metaverse is trying to offer your one-stop shop for all these fun and exciting projects. You do have to keep in mind, too, it is still fairly early days for the guys over at Metaverse. According to them, this is our current status. They're still looking at smart contracts, not released yet. They're still looking at a decentralized autonomous organization, or a DAO, if you will. And that, of course, has also not been released yet. So they still have a lot to come. Obviously, there was quite the interest in them doing ICOs, and then China happened, and so we're looking out for their new position on that. If you are interested in the answers to many of these questions and more, I would suggest that you jump in on the AMA with the CEO. That's going to be on the 18th of October at 10 p.m. GMT +8. So he'll be answering a lot of questions here that are being posted in the comment section over here on the Reddit thread. So if you're interested in a lot of those answers, he will be answering a lot of those different questions. Now, Metaverse has seen a really great run up recently. It's all the way up to number 59. Currently, the circulating supply is very low, only 22.6 million circulating at the moment, which is not very much at all, guys. Not very much at all. That's, I think, part of the reason why we've seen a big price increase on this. Market cap's still pretty low. The volume is huge. $23.2 million in the last 24 hours. Big volume. Relatively lowish market cap for what it's offering. And the supply is pretty low as well. Now look, these ICO coins were only released, you know, back at the end of July. Obviously, when the whole China thing happened, you could have picked these up for 50 cents, guys. It's crazy. It's crazy. Next time China bans something, make sure we all go on buying spree. So the value of these tokens went right down, but we've seen a big increase recently as, you know, Metaverse is trying to find its feet again, basically trying to recover, trying to come back from all that drama that happened with China. Now, if you do want to pick yourselves up some, you can grab it over on Bitfinex, OpenLedger, BTER. Bitfinex, though, come out and said, so they came out a while ago and said they're going to stop working with U.S. citizens, they're not going to register any new accounts, etc., etc. Now they basically said, if you're a U.S. citizen, your account's going to be shut. So they had this sort of grace period where you're okay, you can continue trading, etc., but they're actually going to shut the accounts for US citizens over on Bitfinex now. So if you've been trading over there, if you're a US citizen based in the US, get your ETP, get it on your wallet. It will be listed on other exchanges. Obviously, that's going to happen. When? Who knows? No official announcements yet, obviously. Keep an eye out for it. If the Koreans get a hold of it, obviously the price will explode. Those Koreans love buying stuff. It's amazing. Of course, also, we do have to keep in mind, Bitfinex, one of the biggest exchanges, but it's really, you know, only one big exchange listing it at the moment. We can't even count OpenLedger's only doing a few $1,000s of business. If you want to talk about who's actually selling it, it's Bitfinex. If it hits Bittrex or Binance, boom, I could really see an explosion on this one. It's a really great project. It's got a lot of upsides to it. Yeah, there's competition. Yeah, there's potential legislative hurdles, but they're bringing a lot to it. The assets are a strong thing. The oracles are a strong thing. We've talked a lot about oracles on this channel. So we'll see how they go with their oracles moving forward. Obviously, if they do try and get themselves into the ICO market, that'll be one thing. They haven't even released their smart contract platform yet. So we have to see how that will go as well. Anyway, very interesting project, Metaverse. I think it's got a lot of potential upside and it's pretty gosh darn undervalued at the moment. So if you're looking for something that's undervalued and might have a big upside in the near future, Metaverse is potentially that project. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents though, guys. What do you think about it? Hit me up in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about Metaverse, where Metaverse is going to go. If you got any insider info on Metaverse, hit it up in the comment section, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Long live the blockchain, and peace out till next time, guys.